Everything, everywhere. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my Absolutely Fried podcast. My name is Jezabelle, and every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get absolutely fried together on Kick and Twitch. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you're more of a listener than a viewer, just know that this podcast is available to you on every streaming platform. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung, Amazon, you name it, it's there. Just search Absolutely Fried and it'll pop up, but you can also check the description for the links to it. Also, please don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Absolutely Fried Podcast. Thank you guys for the subscribers. Thank you. How are y'all feeling? Because I have missed y'all so much. If you're new here, I have been gone for about 2 weeks, and it's just because I went to go visit family for Thanksgiving and just spend some time with my family. That's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody for being so chill and allowing me to take this 2-week break. It was very much necessary. I enjoyed seeing family and spending time with them, but I am also very fucking happy to be the fuck back. Holy shit. Let me tell you something. What is something that I learned? I truly thought that I was somebody that was like a winter girly. I thought that I loved winter. Baby, I lived in Georgia most of my life. I used to go back to visit New York, which is where I was originally born. I used to go back to New York to visit family very, very often. At some point, that just kind of stopped. It slowed down. Probably just the fact that I got older. Flying me and my brother out probably became expensive for my parents. And flying back and forth from Georgia to New York often to see family the way that they were when we were kids it got more difficult. But I vividly remember when I was a kid, like being in New York and loving the cold. I loved it so fucking much. But after a while, since it died down a bit, I kind of just got used to Georgia's weather. And if you were to ask me as somebody who, when I lived in Georgia, if I thought that the winters in Georgia were cold, I'd tell you yes. I would absolutely say to you, yes. The winters are cold. I was severely wrong, though. Severely wrong, because I moved to California now. I now live in LA. I've lived here for about 8 or 9 months, and I think that it has rubbed off on me a lot, because I fly to Milwaukee. That's where I went to go visit family, Milwaukee and Chicago. I went to Milwaukee and it was fucking freezing. So cold, I was sick the entire trip. So fucking sick. I thought that when I came back, I was going to be sick for like the next week. I felt like absolute dog shit. My head was pounding. I was fucking just drowned in my own fucking snot. I felt so stuffy in my face. I had a sore throat. My chest was hurting. I had like a really kind of like mucusy cough. Like it was like really bad, dude. And I was like, fuck, like the entire trip, y'all, the entire fucking trip, I was like that. And on top of that, the weather was not agreeing with my skin, bitch. I was breaking the fuck out. Oh my God. Like I'm talking about breakouts all over my face, popping up in areas that they don't normally pop up in. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Like this weather is not agreeing with me. Fast forward, I get back from my trip. I shit you not. I felt terrible on the flight back and everything. I didn't even really drink on my trip. And y'all know I'm not much of a drinker, but when it comes to the holidays, I like to drink with my family because, well, the average person likes to drink. And I would love to be involved with them in things that they enjoy doing. So I don't mind doing it for that little moment of time, basically. Just participating with the group. Didn't drink. Get back. I'm on my flight. Felt like shit on my flight. Get home. Lay down. Go to sleep. Wake up the next morning. Fresh and rejuvenated, bitch. The sickness was gone. I woke up, I go to swallow my spit, there was no pain in my throat. I did a little throat clear, nothing. No sniffles, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? I jump out the bed, I go to the bathroom, my skin is clear. The acne that I had, gone. What the fuck? What the hell happened? So, I don't know, y'all. I don't think that cold weather's really agreeing with me. I don't know. But y'all know I do want to live in Chicago at some point, but I don't know. I got some things to say about Chicago, but we'll get into it. I enjoyed my time there, but I'm going to give you my full-blown opinion for anybody that's never been there. But let's start strong. I spent Thanksgiving with white people. I am a Puerto Rican woman. I am used to Puerto Rican Thanksgiving. So what does that entail? A Puerto Rican Thanksgiving, let me tell you what that's like. It can be a traditional Thanksgiving. Not only Puerto Rican, but Southern Puerto Rican is what I'm used to. So whether or not we decide Thanksgiving when it comes to a Puerto Rican family, since we grew up in the South, it could veer either way. We could have the yams and the collard greens and the cornbread and the turkey. We could have all that, right? It could be something great like that. Or we might just go full-blown Puerto Rican, make tostones, just snack on those all day, just make a bunch of different pork dishes, just go full-blown Puerto Rican food. This is what I'm used to. But I want to emphasize that no matter what it was that we made, it was very well seasoned. Very, very well seasoned. There was no question about that. You want to know where everybody went on Thanksgiving? My house. All of my friends would pull up to my house after their Thanksgivings. They'd sit down because they knew they were going to get a plate. They text me. They say, Jezabelle, I'm coming over. Everybody came to my house because my parents did not play about cooking on Thanksgiving. It took them 3 days to cook for Thanksgiving. My family loves to fucking eat. Y'all know I'm a foodie. Who do you think built it into me? My fucking family, bro. We're all huge foodies, bro. So everybody came to my place. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving holds a place in my heart, but this was my first time ever spending it with white people. A Puerto Rican Thanksgiving is not just about food. It's also about being around family. This is something that is very strong within ethnic communities. What I've noticed in my experience of being around different races and different ethnic backgrounds is that for some reason, white people majority of the time lack community versus in the way that ethnic people do. When it comes to a holiday, it's about family. Everybody comes together and it is loud as fuck. Everybody is talking. I mean, it sounds like you walk into this house, it sounds like we're all screaming at each other, but we're not. It's all love. We're just talking, but we just are so happy to be around each other. It's nothing but a room filled with laughter and happiness. And there's going to be some arguing, there's going to be some tension, but it's going to get let go, but in a nutshell, it's just about being around family, and you can feel the love when you step in the room. Everybody comes, you walk through the door, everybody comes up to you and they kiss all over your face. They shove your face in their bosom. You know what I mean? Like, they're so happy to see, oh, baby, right into the bosom. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You walk up to the men come up to you, they dap you up, they shake your hand, they give you a big hug, they might slip some money in your pocket. Oh, here you go. Don't tell your parents I gave you the money. Take the money, take the money, take the money. That's what it's like. I'm used to what feels like just stepping into the room in and of itself feels like a warm hug. That's what the holidays are like for me. And so I'm sure you can imagine that's why I fucking love the holidays so much. That this is my time of the year, that I live and breathe the holidays, because that's what I was surrounded by growing up. And let me tell you, I didn't get that experience this year. I tried to make the best of it. But let me tell you something. So when I went to this Thanksgiving, so it's not blood related. The people that I spent the holidays with, they're family, but they're not blood related, right? And the people that I ultimately spent Thanksgiving with, they invited a branch of their family that was married in. So this was my first time even meeting these people. They're, to me, technically, like, not really even family, but it was my first time meeting them. This person, my family had married this guy like a couple years ago, and so it was my first time, like their first time having Thanksgiving and inviting his family over. So, very extensive. Like, I don't know these people, but I was like, you know what? Like, it's cool. I can get down. Like, the guy whose family it was, he's an odd guy. He's not really my cup of tea. He's an odd guy, but you know what? My family chose to marry him. I'm gonna love him like family. If you like it, I love it. That's what it is, baby. If you like it, I love it. That's really what it is. You're my family. I love it for you. So he got married in, and I'm like, love you, baby. I love this man for you. Time to meet his family. His family comes through. This was probably like the most uncomfortable Thanksgiving I've ever had. I can't even lie to you, dog. I walk into this room and it felt like I was at a funeral. This was not a Thanksgiving. I felt like I was at a funeral. It was so deathly quiet. There wasn't even music playing. In my household, not only is it loud as fuck, but my dad's bumping music in the background, whether it be that we got holiday music playing, jazz music, fucking 80s house music, and everybody's starting to break dance on the floor and shit. Like, there's something in the background, right? There was nothing. So the way that it's laid out is there's the kitchen, and then there's a dining room, and then there is the living room, all kind of like down this long rectangular home, right? And there's people filling these rooms, but nobody chatting. So I walk in and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna chat it up because that's what I'm used to. And you know what? These people are being brought into my family. I was like, I'm gonna jazz it the fuck up. You know, I'm gonna bring my family to them. I'm gonna bring my energy to them, right? So I walk over and I'm like, hi, my name's Jezabelle. Like, what's your name? What's your name? Like, trust me, baby, I was not whispering. Y'all have heard me speak. I'm a loud woman, okay? I was not whispering. I walked into this dining room, first room, walk into the dining room, and I immediately start introducing myself. These 4 white women sitting at this table look at me as if they'd seen a ghost. Nobody introduced themselves back. They just stared at me. And so I continued staring at them. And so I locked eyes with one of them, and I was like, what's your name? And then she says her name real quietly, and I'm like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. And I turn to the next person. I'm like, what about you? What about you? That girl did not introduce herself. And so I skip over her. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the next one. So I go to this old lady. I'm like, what's your name? Who are you? And she tells me her name. And I'm like, who are you? You know, like, are you a grandma? Are you a mom? Are you an auntie? Like, who are you? And it isn't until somebody else, my family relative, comes into the room and is like, oh, Jezabelle, this is such and such, such and such and such and such. I'm like, why the hell is everybody so awkward? This is a Thanksgiving. Technically, we all should know this is like a family Thanksgiving too. Like, you are the family of so-and-so. So like, this should not be this weird. This should not be this awkward, but they had to be introduced to me. I felt a little bit rubbed the wrong way by that, but I was like, you know what? Maybe this is just how it is. My family pulls me to the side and she's like, they're just a little bit quieter. Okay. They're just a little bit quieter, Jezabelle. And I was like, oh, okay. Got you. No problem. I go into the living room and there's, I think it was about 4 people sitting on the couch. And so I decided to spark up conversations with them. I introduced myself, same situation, awkward as fuck. Yo, it was so tense in that fucking room. I was literally forcing conversation down their throat. Forcing it down their fucking throat. But it's like, what am I going to do? Sit here and be on my fucking phone? This is Thanksgiving. Talk to me. Damn it. Talk to me. Y'all, like, what? I was like yearning to yap. I was like, I'm like, give me my fix. Like, I want to yap so hard right now with somebody. So I'm talking to these people I never met before. And I'm like, so like, they were older. I think they were like maybe in like their 40s. So I was like, you know, like, what do you do for work? Do you have any kids? Like, where do you live? Like, just like asking like very basic questions, trying to like get stuff out of them. They had no interest in learning about me because they did not reciprocate these questions. So it's me pretty much just interrogating them, but in a very happy and nice way, interrogating them. And these were really not my people. These were not happy people, y'all. I would consider myself a very happy person, but these were definitely more of the glass is half empty kind of people. And I know that those people exist out there, right? But this was like a slap in the face of it. Like, it's almost like I know those people exist, but it's not very often that I run into these people. And so I'm sitting here, I'm talking to this couple, and this is a couple, 2 people at the same time that are glass half empty type people. And I say this because I'm talking to him and he's like, I'm like, what do you do for work? He's like, oh, like, I actually have a music store. And I was like, you have a music store? That's so fucking cool. I was like, do you just like work there or do you like own it? He's like, I own it. And I was like, that's like the coolest fucking job in the world. I'm hyping this guy up. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, it's specifically a guitar store. I was like, that's fucking amazing. That's insane. And I was like, do you play guitar or anything? He's like, yeah, I used to play the bass. I was like, used to? I was like, you don't think to maybe play the guitar a little bit while you're sitting there, maybe like during downtime or something? He was like, nah, not really. Just gotta work. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine. I was like, but that's really cool though. He's like, I guess it's cool. Bitch, you own a guitar store and you don't think that that's cool? Do you know how fucking awesome that is? I literally said to him, I was like, I bet, like, since he told me that he played when he was younger, I was like, Yeah, I bet your younger self is like really happy to see where you're at right now. Like owning a guitar store, like playing when you were younger. Now you've gotten here. Like that's so fucking awesome. Like I'm hyping him up. He's like, yeah, I guess so. It's, it's just work. Okay. And so I'm like, well, where do you live at? And he's like, he tells me some random city. He's like, oh, it's only like 10 miles away. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like you live this. I'm talking to the brother of the guy that my family married now, right? So I'm like, oh, that's great. You guys must like visit each other all the time, 10 miles away. My brother lives like across the country. Like I bet y'all hang out all the time. He was like, not really. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, like, is there a reason? And he's like, just busy. Okay. I was like, okay, well, like, do you live in a home? He's like, yeah, we live in a house. We just bought this house, actually. We moved out of another one, sold it, and moved into this other one. And I was like, oh, that's good news, right? Like, is it a nicer house? Like, what was the reason for moving? He's like, yeah, it's a lot bigger than the last one. And I was like, that's awesome. You got a bigger house. And he's like, I guess so. I don't know. It's fine. Like, he's like, it didn't seem like he was happy about anything he was saying to me. I was like, why do I feel like sad right now? Like everything he's saying to me is literally like such a great thing in life. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, why do I feel sad? Like this feels like it should be good news. And so I turned to his like wife instead and I'm like, well, like, what about you? Like, what do you do? And she's like, oh, I think she told me she just worked at like this restaurant. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah, she tells me that she used to play bass, that she like knows how to play the bass guitar. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, did you guys meet each other somehow like that? And she was like, no. And I was like, so it was purely coincidental? That's so fucking cute. Like, I'm hyping up their marriage and shit, right? And she's like, I mean, like, I guess so. Same exact response as him. I was like, oh my God, 2 fucking peas in a pod, right? And so I say to her, well, like, do you ever play sometimes? And her response was, no, I just like... I don't do that anymore. And I was like, oh, well, why not? Why don't y'all like play a bass guitar little thing going on right here together? Why don't y'all do that together? That sounds so cute. And she was like, I just had like this really bad thing happen with an ex-boyfriend, so I'll never play a bass guitar again. And I was like, that'll do it. Yeah, girl. That'll do it. Like I felt so awkward. Like every response they gave felt like so sad. Unhappy. All work, no play type of people. And it's like, how can you, like, Debbie Downers, like, I don't know how you, to me, I'm sitting here like baffled because I'm combing through all the answers that they gave me in my head. And I'm like, these all seem really great. Like, I would be over the fucking moon if I was somebody that owned a fucking guitar store. You've owned it for a long time and it's doing fucking well. Like, hell fucking yeah. Are you shitting me? That sounds so cool. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe something's going on behind closed doors. I don't know. But anyway, these are the type of people that are sitting here. Nobody wanted to talk to Jezabelle. Jezabelle's forcing conversation down their throats. Nobody's liking it. I decided, let me traipse over to the kitchen. Shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Reminder, this is a white people Thanksgiving. I should not have put myself in that kitchen. I walk into the kitchen. And the guy comes in with the turkey. And I'm looking at it. And I was like, so, I just wanted to ask you, okay? Like, let me be real with you. There was no reason for me to ask this, but something told me to poke the bear. Because, like, you hear, like, people talk about white people Thanksgivings. And what's the big thing that they say, y'all? They tell y'all that they don't season shit. They don't cook shit. So I was like, hey, what'd you season the turkey with? I thought he's gonna go down in it, be like rosemary, thyme. I shove butter in this bitch. There's celery and carrots and potatoes stuffed inside. I thought he was about to go down, go to work, right? Salt, pepper, garlic. Huh? Salt, pepper, garlic. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. He leaves the kitchen for a minute. I get called over to the cooking area. They're like, Jezebelle, come try these mashed potatoes. I was like, abso-fucking-lutely, I'm going to try the damn mashed potatoes. So they're like, I've been seasoning them. And I was like, okay, good, girl, let me taste it. They give me a taste on a spoon. I tasted it. That tasted like a damn bare fucking potato. It was mashed potatoes, all right. And absolutely nothing more. The hell did you season it with? Imagination? Like, I'm confused. There was nothing there. So is there even butter in here? Is there cream? Is there anything? Salt? Please. At least he did SPG on the bird. So I take over. I'm like, I'm gonna take over this. Okay, I'm gonna do this right now. So I start seasoning the mashed potatoes. I'm throwing salt. I'm throwing the pepper. I'm throwing the garlic. I'm putting that shit in there. Okay, I'm cracking the fresh black pepper. I'm grabbing onion powder. I'm just shoving. I'm throwing everything in this bitch. At this point, I'm closing my eyes, shoving my hand into the seasoning cabinet, and just shaking everything in there. All right, because that's better than what the fuck was in there, which is nothing. I'm seasoning the shit. I'm taking bites as I'm seasoning it. I still needed more. All of a sudden, the guy who cooked the bird sees what I'm doing. He's like, that's enough seasoning. He didn't even taste it. How does he know that that's enough seasoning? And I was like, I don't think it is. I fought back because I'll be damned if I'm going to sit my ass in that fucking chair. I've been waiting hours to eat some food. I starved myself. I will not lie to you, y'all. For Thanksgiving, I will, because I'm planning to eat 3 damn plates and they're going to fucking fit in there. Okay, so I starved myself for this meal. I feel in my stomach touch my damn spine. Okay, I want to eat a good plate, and you talking about salt, pepper, garlic, fucking turkey, and these mashed potatoes are seasoned enough off of just pure sight of what you just walked into the kitchen and saw. I'm convinced that he didn't even see me put seasonings in there. He just saw a little Puerto Rican girl stand in front of a pot and said, "Oh hell no." That's what I'm convinced happened. But I got kicked out the fucking kitchen. I got kicked out the kitchen. He literally said, that's enough. Like, he's like, just leave the kitchen. I got kicked out the kitchen. So obviously I did the only thing that any Puerto Rican person would do. I texted my dad. I texted my daddy and I immediately snitched. I said, Dad, you won't believe this shit. And I told him, I had took a video of me asking them. I was like, what'd you season the turkey with? I sent the video to my dad, and my dad texted me back immediately, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, he was all pissed. He was like, give me his damn number right now. I'll tell him how to cook a damn bird. Like, he was going off, right? And then my dad started sending me pictures of his turkey that he's been cooking. Baby, my parents cook a turkey so good, y'all. They don't only just season it, they marinate the whole damn bird. My parents remove the drawers from the refrigerator. They throw everything out, and they remove the drawers from the refrigerator to fit a giant pot filled with a marinade and shove the turkey in it. They take it so seriously. They be injecting the bird and shit. Oh my God, they take it so seriously. And so my dad sent me pictures of his turkey just so that I had something to stare at while I ate. Do you all want to know what people brought to the Thanksgiving? Something that's new to me that I believe I've only had one time was a green bean casserole. That's very new to me, but white people love that shit. White people love green bean casserole. I see y'all getting so excited. Thanksgiving comes around and all white people can talk about is green bean casserole. I've only had it one time and I do not remember what it tasted like. I don't. But I'm going to tell you right now, the one that I had on this past Thanksgiving, yo, I don't think she put anything more than the literal green beans, like a can of green beans. I didn't see a single speck of pepper or salt, nothing. She put the green beans, she put the soup that's supposed to go on it, and she put the crispy onions and nothing else. Nothing else. It tasted like I was eating crunchy water. Was not good. And then the next thing, but that's a staple for the white people. Green bean casserole. I know y'all love that shit. So, but I know some of y'all make that shit good because I've heard some of y'all say like, you got to season it. So I know some of y'all out there, I just know that this was a bad one. Okay. The next thing, this is how you really know it was a bad fucking Thanksgiving. Somebody brought fucking quinoa. Now, I don't know what the hell was in there. It was like some quinoa and there was like pieces of fruit and walnuts. I don't know what the fuck it was. Who brings that to Thanksgiving? That's disrespectful. And people had the fucking audacity. We're all sitting down. We all made our plates, right? We're all sitting down and we're eating. They put like plastic tables throughout the house for us all to sit next to each other and eat, right? And I'm hearing people all throughout the house talking about, ooh, this quinoa is so good. You want to reel that shit back in? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Do y'all know what I made? Baby, I made Teeny's mac and cheese, obviously. Everybody was talking about it this past year. Obviously, I had to make it. My mom makes like the type of mac and cheese I grew up on was like a custard mac and cheese. That's what I grew up on. Love that shit. That custard mac and cheese with cranberry sauce, that one bite together with the yams. Ugh. Best bite. Best fucking bite. But I switched it up. Instead of making my mom's recipe for mac and cheese, I made Teeny's mac and cheese. Came out fucking fantastic, baby. That shit was easy as fuck to make. I was so glad I chose to make that instead of my mom's. My mom's is way too time consuming. You gotta like temper eggs and shit into it. Oh, hell no. Oh my God. It takes way too much time. Teeny's mac and cheese was like 1, 2, 3. It was so easy to make. And I'm sitting here, I'm eating the mac and cheese, I'm fucking this shit up. Everybody in the room starts complimenting it. And you know what? In all honesty, I felt disrespected. Because the same people that are sitting here complimenting this mac and cheese were just complimenting that quinoa salad. So is it good? Is it really? It's okay. It was so bad that I considered when I came home that maybe I should have a Thanksgiving again. I should make my own Thanksgiving at home. Still seriously considering it. Turkey's on sale. You know, since it's after Thanksgiving, it's on sale. I get myself a little turkey and make my own. Try to recreate the shit. There was no fucking sweet potatoes. Oh my God. Do you know what is like the number one dish that I look forward to? Everybody, what's their favorite Thanksgiving dish? I'll go right now. The fucking sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top. Y'all know how much I love sweet potatoes. And then you add marshmallows. That shit's all melted. That's literally candied yams. That shit is the absolute fucking best. The absolute best. And I didn't get it. Baby, if I hadn't made the mac and cheese, that means there would have been no mac and cheese at that Thanksgiving. Oh my God. But that right there, y'all, that was it. That was my Thanksgiving this year. But you know what? Like I said, in Puerto Rican tradition, it's not just about the food, it's about being around family. So I did my best to just be happy with the people that I was around. I don't know how long it's going to be before I spend another Thanksgiving with them. Maybe I'll just visit in between in like the middle of the year where there's not any holidays. Oh, it wasn't great. And you know what's crazy is like so the people that I'm related to, I was talking to a few of them that live up in Wisconsin. They typically go somewhere else for Thanksgiving. And they were telling me it's worse than that. They were like, trust me, you're lucky that this was the Thanksgiving that you came to. Because if it had been any other one, it would have been worse. It gets worse, y'all. You know what? Maybe I should just go to it for shits and giggles. This time record it. A part of me, I was sitting there at the Thanksgiving and everything that was transpiring, I was literally thinking to myself, should have brought my camera. Should have recorded all of this. Because obviously I wasn't disrespectful during the Thanksgiving. I was very nice. I was like, oh yeah, when the girl was telling me about her quinoa salad or whatever the fuck she brought, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yes, girl, that sounds great. That sounds delicious. Like, I'm obviously not gonna look at this girl and be like, are you serious? You know, so like when she was showing it to me, I was like, damn, like I wish I had my camera recording this right now because it was just this giant boy. I posted a picture of it, y'all, on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck is this? Let me see if I can show y'all right now on my phone. I was like, somebody tell me what the hell this is. I just dropped my joint. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Here we go. She was showing it to me, and when she was telling it to me, I was smiling, and I was trying so hard not to like let a tear fall down my face. Here we go. I was trying so hard, y'all. What the fuck is that? What the fuck? What is that? Hell no. It's scary. It looks like a bowl of bugs, don't it? That looks so bad. She was showing it to me, and I was like, the second she was showing it to me, and she was like so happy about it too. So obviously I wasn't going to be like, girl, really, Thanksgiving? She seemed happy about what she brought. And again, y'all, it's not just about the food, family. So obviously, since she was happy, girl, if you like it, I love it. You like it, I love it. Uh-huh. But maybe I should go back, y'all, but this time go to the one that's apparently worse and vlog that one. I think that would be great. I was so damn close to literally like tweeting out or like posting a video and like asking if there was like anybody that's not white in the Milwaukee area willing to just have me over right now. Please, requirements: must have candied yams, mac and cheese, and please cornbread if possible. When I was at the store right before Thanksgiving, I was just picking up last minute stuff to like make Teeny's mac and cheese, and I felt safe for a split second because I'm in the store and I go to pass by this lady. And the thing about people in the Midwest is that they have no problem talking to each other. They're very open and like fine with talking, interacting with each other. And the lady's like holding this bag of like cornmeal, and she just like looks at me and she's like, "Do you know how to make cornbread from scratch?" And I was like, it kind of like threw me off for a second because I'm in the Midwest. I was like, hell, you know about cornbread. What the fuck? I'm looking, I'm like, are you from the South? I like whispered it to her. I like looked around, I whispered, I was like, are you from the South? And she was like, no, I'm born and raised from here. But my mother, she was from Georgia. And I was like, oh my God. I feel so safe right now. Where's your mom? Where's your mom? Please, can I meet her? Everything felt like, in that moment, I felt safe. Destiny. Oh, y'all, let's move on. That's how my Thanksgiving went. And I felt like y'all would have been itching to hear about that one, considering the fact it was my first white people Thanksgiving. I'm happy to have experienced it. It's one of those things that I feel like everybody should experience once in their life. Once in their life. Everybody needs to find, and when I say experience a white people Thanksgiving, I don't mean like white people that can cook. I mean, go to like a raw white person Thanksgiving where they actually can't cook. Like find a friend that's white that will tell you straight up, my family cannot cook. And then bring a dish that will blow their mind. Bring the candied yams. Bring the mac and cheese. Bring it. Bring the collard greens with the turkey neck in it. Bring it. And just watch their life change. Shout out to anybody else that had to experience that this past Thanksgiving. I'm so sorry. But you know what? You weren't alone because I experienced it too. And shout out to the people that got to have a great Thanksgiving. You're very lucky. Make sure you be grateful for that. And when you go to sleep and you pray tonight, you pray and you thank God that you got to have a great Thanksgiving. You know, when I was in Milwaukee, I obviously didn't bring a fucking ounce with me, you know, on a fucking plane. So I didn't have any like real weed to smoke when I went to Milwaukee. Hypothetically, I had a THCA pen. That's what I had. It was THCA. It was. I brought that with me. And let me tell you something. Y'all know I am not a fan of, thank you for the sideburns. Thank you. Y'all know I am not a fan of pens. I really don't like pens. They're not good for you. Even if you get the best quality pens, they're just not good for you. I even saw this whole thing recently about them being linked to like brain swelling. Not necessarily I don't think it's gonna like kill you or anything, but it's just stuff it's doing to your body that it could result in adverse reactions. And it's just, why do that? When you got the real plant just available to you, there's no reason. I know people are like, oh, but you know, like being discreet, the smell, da 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 da. I get it, girl, but like, also, please stop. I get it, but also please stop. And the thing about it is that I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like a pen high is so completely different than bud. It is completely different. It feels absolutely nothing alike. Even if I like smack like an indica pen, it does not feel like I smoked like indica flower. You know, like I feel like if I smoke a blunt, like that shit'll put me in the couch, but a pen will not. It feels like it's all up here. It's all in my head, no matter what strain it is, no matter what. And like it always leaves me feeling with like a headache. It feels like there's a come down. I feel foggy. I just like, I feel very forgetful. Like it really messes with me. I'm not a big fan of the highs, but this is what I had to survive while I was in Milwaukee. So I smacked the pen for a few days, and buddy, I felt like shit smacking it. So I ended up like accidentally taking a tea break while I was out of town, actually. Accidentally taking a tea break. I didn't mind it. It wasn't really a tea break because I had some THCA gummies with me. They were THCA. I had some gummies. And I took a flower break, a tea flower break. But I was taking edibles every single day. I loved that shit. I transitioned myself over into edibles, and now I love edibles. Y'all know I've been taking, well, maybe y'all don't know, but I've been taking edibles daily for a few months now. Maybe about 2 months. 2 or 3 months, I've been taking edibles every single day. Not high dose, super low dose, but you guys know I'm very mindful in the way that I consume, and so like I have legitimately been spending like an hour and a half going into a dispensary, like going product by product, like researching everything, finding out what's best for me, exactly like the things that I need, whether it be anxiety, if I want an energy boost, for sleep. When I tell you I have found the exact down to the milligram combination of THC, CBN, and CBD that will give me the perfect amount of sleep. Like I have gotten real intricate with this shit. Edibles are fucking amazing, dude. Holy shit. But I've like really leaned into those more, which is great because I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this, but my ultimate goal in life, obviously, I don't think I want to smoke for my whole life. At the end of the day, you got to understand that inhaling anything other than oxygen into your lungs is not good for you. Smoking weed's not going to kill you, but it's not the best for your lungs. And so I would love to transition into eventually only having edibles or like tinctures or like the drinks, and probably just once in a blue moon, like sitting down to smoke. You know what I mean? That's what I would like to do. And I feel like I'd be fine with that. Like I've really been into the whole edible thing. But with that being said, girl, I went to Chicago. And you know what? People gave me warnings. They said, Jezabelle, I'm going to be real with you. Chicago is an absolutely gorgeous city, and it has so much to offer to you visually, culturally, and food-wise. But the weed is ass. And I was like, what? How bad can it be? You know what I mean? Like, I'm assuming they carry brands over there that I have over here. But people talked so much shit on it to me that I was like, you know what? I want to see what Chicago actually has to offer. So I went into this dispensary and only got Illinois-based weed. Only stuff that is like sold in Illinois. That's all that I wanted. In Chicago, that's it. I didn't want to try any brand that I could just get back at home. I wanted to see what Chicago had to offer because I'm pretty big on that. I like smoking stuff that is local to where I live. I like supporting the local brands, y'all. I don't need the big brand. I like supporting the little local brands and the ones that just like care more about their cultivation and they pay more attention to things and they're more personable to their customers. Stuff like that matters to me. I want to know that I'm not getting fucked by a big corporation. I want to feel like I'm buying from a mom and pop. So I was like, I go into this dispensary. In my experience in a dispensary, I don't know what they're all like because I only went to one dispensary. But the way that it was is that you couldn't really look at any products in the dispensary. Like there wasn't anything. There was a few stuff on the wall, but that was about it. There wasn't anything else. Instead, you walk up to this like long desk where it's got the salespeople and you scroll on an iPad. I don't like that. Am I getting old? I don't want to scroll on an iPad in front of somebody. And so I'm like, person to person here, I'm like, hey, like I'm looking for this. This is the type of stuff that I like. I tell them about the brands that I like to smoke. I tell them that I'm from LA and I tell them what I'm used to. And I'm like, I want to smoke like brands that are specific to like Chicago. Like give me something that I won't get back at home. I want to see what Chicago has to offer. Like kind of give them the whole spiel, right? He wasn't the best, like, most knowledgeable bud tender, but he suggested to me these few brands. He's like, I got you. Like, these are the brands that you're going to want. Like, I like these brands. I'm like, okay, bet. I buy. One thing that I noticed that's great. Let's say the good side. The good side about Chicago is the taxes is like nothing. It's like 10 to 15% taxes. I don't know if you guys think that's expensive, but in LA, it's like 30 to 40. So when you walk into a dispensary and you're ready to purchase something, bitch, you're damn near spending double of the price that's listed. That fucking sucks. I hate that shit when I walk up to a wall and I see something that I want and I'm like, oh my God, bitch, $40. Hell yeah. And I walk into the register and they're like 80. Fuck. Damn, I might as well just go buy crack. Are you serious? Like, what the fuck? But I go and I leave the store. I got my little goodies. I go to smoke. I'm unwrapping the package. We're far away now from this dispensary. I go to open the package and I flip it over to read it. Why does it say like 90% THCA? And so I start like tweaking for a minute. I'm like, 90% THCA? And then it's like 2% THC. I'm like, is that what it normally says? I was like, huh? So I start picking up the other stuff that's in my bag. And all of it said that. All of it said THCA. Now let me tell you something. I got no problem with THCA. I have smoked some super fucking fire THCA, right? Imperial extracts, great. Cookies has great THCA. Koi has good THCA. You know, like these are very potent. What I just listed are brands that have some pretty potent THCAs. And Imperial itself has even offered like a strain that was like one of the best strains I've ever just smoked, period. So THCA can be fucking awesome, right? So I wasn't going to knock it till I tried it. I was like, you know what? This is fucking weird, but I feel kind of fucked over. But you know what? THCA don't mean nothing. This shit could still be smoking. I go to smoke it, y'all. One of the joints that I had, I go to smoke it. Bitch, I didn't feel a damn thing. Bitch, I have such a low tolerance. And not only that, but I hadn't been smoking the whole trip. I felt nothing. And it was to the point where I started just trying to convince myself that I felt something. Like, y'all know how I talk about POV mode, where it's like, you smoke, you get high, and then you look down and your body is just kind of like, it looks like you're playing like in POV mode in like GTA or something. Like that's what it feels like. Like your body's just kind of on autopilot and just knows what to do. Like you're not telling your body what to do at all. So I get out the car to like see if like I'm in POV mode. I look down and I don't see POV mode. I don't. I look down and I just see my regular body. And I was like, and so I start walking around and I'm like, maybe I'm feeling it. I'm like, I think I am, like a little bit. I was like, yeah, like trying to convince myself. But I was smoking with someone else. And so I'm like, how do you feel? Like, what are you thinking? They were like, I don't feel shit. And I was like, okay, all right. So we had to smoke a lot before we felt anything. And then even after that, we kind of just smacked our pens. We went right back to smacking our pens. But if you want to know how bad it was, there was one point where we were smoking three joints at once, 3 in our mouth, just to feel something, and still didn't really feel anything. 3 of them. So Chicago's weed, maybe I just got the wrong stuff, but I tried, I think it was like 4 different fucking brands. I wish I remembered the name of them. I'm gonna go through like my email and see if I got sent any sort of like receipt or something so that I could tell you what not to fucking buy if you're in Chicago. But that shit was ass, dog. It was so fucking bad. Oh my God. I was so upset. I was so upset because, like I said, such a beautiful city. And when you're there and experiencing Chicago, you're like, I would love to live here. And then that happens. It's a legalized state with nothing. I found out that all the people in Chicago, nobody really like buys the weed there. They all take a trip up to Michigan to get weed. I do not want to cross state lines just to have to go get some fucking weed. I was warned, but I don't know why I thought it was going to be different. I don't know why. I tried to have faith in the system. That's what it was. I tried to have faith, y'all. But that was my experience with that. that's really all that I have to say from my 2-week trip that I took, to be honest with you. There wasn't really much else to it. I just spent time with family. And when I say I just spent time with family, I'm so serious. We literally just existed around each other. We hung out in the house. We watched TV. We played video games together. We ate at a few food places together. But besides that, I really was just spending time with each other. And it was fantastic. I loved that shit. But let's get into what life has in store for us in the future now that that's over. I've been apartment hunting. And I feel like I've been saying that for a while. I feel like I've been telling you guys that I was going to start apartment hunting. Like I was kind of like casting my line out there. And it was because I initially wanted to be moved out of this apartment by December. I wanted to be out of this apartment into a new one because I just need more space. This podcast, I want to go ahead and set up a podcast room. And once I get like my own separate room, I can finally have room for a PC setup, which then leads into gaming and more live streaming and a gaming channel, so much more. I pushed it off to the last minute. That's what I did. I pushed it off to the last minute. So now I am scrounging, trying to find like an apartment very quickly. I thought that pricing would go down. Not very much. I would even venture out to say that it's gone up, but I'm looking. And my experience has been awful. I'll tell you, apartment hunting in LA is not like apartment hunting in Atlanta. In Atlanta, you can find an apartment anywhere. That city is filled with apartments, right? But the problem is that they're empty. So everywhere has vacancy. Everywhere has a place for you to stay. And they're constantly like opening up new apartments. Like you could find one easy. You throw a rock and you could find 12 and they'll approve you. They don't give a fuck about your credit. You could have the worst credit in the world. They'll approve you. They'll just charge you a little bit more for the deposit. But they're trying to get you in there. Here, on the other hand, they care very much about every tiny little detail. Every tiny little detail. And, it baffles my mind. I have great credit. I'm very lucky. And I'll even brag a little bit. I got above a 750. I do have above a 750. I was very smart. I've got great credit, so that's not a problem for me. But when I read the requirements of some of these apartments, now listen to this. The apartment was $27.95, I think. Great price for a 2-bed, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. $27.95. They wanted excellent credit. They emphasized on that excellent credit. Has to be above a 750. They won't accept anyone below a 750, right? When I say this, I mean like I went on their website and I typed in that I just had 700 because I just didn't feel like checking my credit score. So I just put 700 thinking I'd be fine. And they literally declined me. They were like, you cannot set up a tour for this apartment. You can't come see this apartment. Your credit's too, like, it does not meet our requirements. So I was like, oh shit. So I went private mode, put my actual credit score in, scheduled the tour. I go to tour this apartment. Let's talk about the apartment first. Gorgeous. Oh my God. Newly renovated. Gorgeous apartment. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So spacious, bitch. Guess what? 20-foot fucking ceilings. 20-foot ceilings. It is my dream to have a 20-foot Christmas tree one day. This had 20-foot ceilings because it was not only a 2-bed, 2-bathroom, but it had an additional loft space. Like you go upstairs and it's just like this loft that's open and like oversees like the apartment. Gorgeous, right? You're like, what? Like, right? The windows massive. The windows match the height of the apartment. It's gorgeous. I fell in love with this place, right? Girl, this apartment was in the trenches. This shit was in the fucking trenches. I go to walk down this neighborhood for the apartment. And there's like these 2 abandoned apartment buildings that are on both sides of the apartment that I'm supposed to be touring. This is like more of a smaller building. It's privately owned. It's not like a massive, like owned by like a large management company. It's on the, it's like so the abandoned buildings are on opposite sides of this small little apartment building, maybe like probably like 10 to 15 units max. Like that's probably being way too generous. It's probably like 10 units. Abandoned, but you can very obviously tell there's squatters inside. you can absolutely tell that they are filled with squatters. And outside the property, it's like a fence that's been like lined and covered, right? So that you don't see through to the other side. But like I go up the stairs to enter like the apartment that I was touring, and it's just trash everywhere. You could see like needles, like the whole nine, right? Bad. When I was walking up to said apartment complex, there was like homeless people just like laying like right in front of it that looked like drugged out. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And down the street is like, they're like, somebody's blasting music. I think it was like somebody sitting outside on like a stoop, just like blasting music. And it was like these two like homeless people. And they very obviously were on drugs as well. And I'm just like, what the fuck did I just step into? I'm sitting here trying to like scramble to like read the code because it was like a self-guided tour. I'm sitting here scrambling, like trying to type on the thing because just around the corner was like this person that was like drugged out, like laying on the concrete, like staring at me, like watching me walk. And like I had to go around like by them down this like little hall that's like concrete. And I was like, bitch, what's the number? Like, I don't want to get kidnapped. What the fuck? Like, I'm freaking out, right? I finally get behind the door and I close the thing behind me and I'm like, oh, I'm scared. At this point, the only reason why I'm going to look at the apartment is because I'm like, girl, you're already here. Like, just go look at it at least, right? Go look at it. Y'all, that whole situation, I'm sitting there, I was like, I'm definitely not living here. There were so many things I felt unsafe about. And here's the thing about me. It's one thing to feel unsafe at night, but to feel unsafe in broad daylight, that's a whole other thing. Feeling unsafe in broad daylight in an area where I'm supposed to live, that's not happening. I cannot make that work. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. The requirements for this fucking apartment was you needed to make obviously 3 times the rent in order to be approved for it. But you had to have like at least a minimum of $14,000 in a savings account as well outside of that. And they wanted you to have at least a 750 credit score. Does that make sense now, y'all? For an apartment in the trenches. That's what my experience has been like, apartment hunting in LA. Because if it's not that, girl, if it's not that kind of situation, the situation is that I walk into a nice place to tour. And there's like 20 other fucking people there. Like, I feel like I'm fighting for this place. We're all looking for apartments right now. We're all itching to get that shit. That shit is very discouraging. It is very discouraging to like walk up to a place that you're like hoping to be able to rent, and then like 4 people come out of the apartment that you're touring and they're like, oh, are you coming to look too? Come on. They bring you in with like 4 other people, and then you go to leave with those people, and then there's more people in the street waiting. Like, oh my God. God damn, could I have one thing? Like, Jesus Christ. And then there's not only that, but then you apply. You apply for the apartment because you're like, oh, you know what? This is the one. I love this apartment. I want this one. And you apply. And then you don't hear back for some reason. You don't hear back. You meet all the requirements. You have great credit. You make more than what you need to for the rent. You have enough in savings. You meet all the requirements. You provide all of the documentation, everything that you need to. And then they just don't respond. Versus in Atlanta, you apply, girl, you hear back same day or at the latest next day. And they're like, you got the apartment, girl. You're approved. Your credit was good. We want you here. We want you here right now. Can you come move in today? Actually, that's what it's like in fucking Atlanta versus here. It's not the same. So I'm feeling stressed the fuck out. But I am apartment hunting and I'm so fucking excited about it. I did apply for one, and I'm gonna harass the lady. She thinks that she cannot respond to me. I'm gonna blow that woman's phone up. I want that apartment so bad. I found a great one, y'all. It was perfect. But with that being said, I do want to let you know that means that there will be at some point in the future probably going to be like a week where I take another break from doing the podcast, only because I'll need to like move and set up the podcast room and everything. Not sure when that's gonna be. Cannot tell you, but it's most likely going to be at some point between now and January because that's when I want to move. So we're going to see, y'all. We're going to see. Oh, thank you. Some other stuff that's been on my noggin. This is just my fair warning to you guys, okay? This is a great area to end the podcast at. This is going to be my fair warning to you guys. I posted a video about this on my spam page, but I want to reiterate it here in case you guys don't follow me there. Now is not the time to steal. If you are somebody that's got sticky fingers, if you're somebody that just kind of reverts back to your instincts where it's like you're a gatherer, if you're somebody that just picks up a product that's real itty bitty and you're like, $10 for a chapstick? Whoop. Like, if that's you, do not do that right now. I was at Walmart yesterday. Yeah, a little trinket. I was at Walmart yesterday, and I go to walk inside, and there's a woman being arrested outside, and she's bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, well, the only thing I can think of, I'm like, she had to have been stealing or something. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me tell you, I could be very wrong. There's just a woman getting arrested, and there was nobody else around her. It was her by herself. My assumption is that she was stealing. But I didn't really think too much of it. I do my little shopping in Walmart. I go to leave. I go across the street to Target. It was a Walmart Target kind of day. I go to walk into Target. There is a woman being arrested outside, bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, whoa now, this is crazy. I hate to admit it, I'm a frequent shopper at Walmart and Target. That doesn't necessarily mean frequent shopper as in I'm paying. That means I love to window shop. And if I don't got nothing going on that day, I'm going to go peruse around Target and just look at stuff. I love going to the clothing section, picking it up. What's it look like? Try it on, look at myself, pick up what's the new lip glosses that came out. You know, I love to window shop, girl. I'm there very often. That's like my hangout. Okay. I've never seen anybody being arrested outside of Walmart or Target. Never. And then all of a sudden, back to back in one day at both stores, somebody being fucking arrested. Girl, let me tell you something. Everybody is very poor right now. The economy is not great. We're not doing well. Christmas is going to be sparse. If you're a kid and you're hoping for something big this Christmas, just don't. Don't put the pressure on your parents. Whatever you see under that tree, no matter how naked it looks, you put the biggest smile on your face and you rip through those presents like they're the best thing you've ever seen in your whole life. Okay? Because it's difficult for people right now. There's not a lot of jobs out there. People are struggling. And when people struggle, stores and big companies also feel that effect. People are shopping a lot fucking less, buying a lot less stuff. So every dollar to them fucking counts, dog. Every fucking dollar. And the worst part about these big companies is that they will not get you on the first time. When you sit here and you steal like $100, they wait. It's terrible. They wait and let you rack that shit up. Maybe not even on the second or third. But once you hit past the specific threshold of like $1,000 or something, they're coming for you for grand larceny. 7 years in prison. They're coming after you. They want the big money. That's what they want. They don't want the little money. They want a lot. So, I would just not steal right now. I just wanted to throw that out there. I would just not do it. I don't think that that's a smart thing. Walmart Rico is crazy. Yes, that's just my fair warning to you guys. I just don't believe that right now is the time to do that. You know what? Go on Temu. Truthfully, actually, go on fucking Temu. I went to go to Walmart. You know what? I feel like Walmart isn't even the same. I feel like how it used to be is that when I wanted something cheap and I wanted something affordable, you know where I'd go? Walmart. I'd go to a different store. I'd be in like a different store and I'd pick it up and I'd be like, ooh, this is egregious. This is so expensive. Head over to Walmart. They'd have it for half the price. Now, dog, I go to Walmart and I'm like, I've seen this less at Target. And then all of a sudden I pull up Amazon and I'm like, I found it for a third of the price. What the fuck? What is going on? Walmart is not cheap anymore. Walmart's not cheap. And so I was in the Walmart section for like baking stuff and cooking stuff. So like mixing bowls and strainers. Bitch, they want like $12 for a fucking strainer. What the fuck? Literally, it's half the fucking bowl. The liquid falls through it. Why the fuck is it $12 and you got a fucking bowl for 99 cents? How does that make sense? It's less product. And something in me was like, check Temu. I checked Temu. They got full-blown entire baking sets. It comes with the tablespoons, the measuring cups, different mixing bowls. They got containers. It comes with whisks. It comes with everything. Everything you would need. They want like $15. What the fuck? Bro. Christmas this year, shop on Temu. If you are struggling this year, shop on Temu. My father is a Temu warrior. You know that? He literally FaceTimes me to show me what furniture he's purchased. Shout out to my dad. He has been renovating my childhood home, and he's done it up real nice. He's been saving up his whole life for this shit, right? waiting for the kids to get out so that he could renovate it and make it all nice while we're gone. But he's been FaceTiming me every so often to show me the new shit that he buys. My dad is not the one buying like a few little things off Temu, like, oh, like some new forks or something. My father is buying full-blown outdoor sets, like patio sets and shit. He's going on there looking for grills and shit. That's what my father is doing. He shows me this giant canopy that he bought. Like, he's buying like real shit off of there. And it's great. He loves it. So, hey. Maybe check out Temu. A Temu Christmas. That's not so bad. Okay, y'all. I am definitely ending this very promptly at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I have a date with a French restaurant tonight. I'm going to go get myself some fucking French onion soup. I've been craving that shit for days, and then I found out that they're open a little bit later. So tonight I'm getting French onion soup for dinner and bread and butter. Delicious. I'm so excited. This has been a super fire episode. I have missed you guys so much, and I'm so fucking happy to be back. And I am so excited about the future of this podcast because it's only going to get better from here. And I'm so excited to start streaming and everything. Like, just got to find this fucking apartment. So y'all manifest real fucking hard for me that Emily, that is the name of the woman that needs to text me back about my application. Manifest that Emily texts me back. Because I'm going to harass that woman until I get a response. Manifest that we got that apartment because, y'all, I can't fucking wait for this next step. I've been waiting on this for so long. I love you guys so much. I've missed you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me again tonight. Thank you for coming back. I guess I will see you guys on Wednesday. I love you so much. Good night, everybody.